It's good. Top of the year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's the big Run It Up Records. 2022, we made it. We here. How was your 2022? New Year's Eve, I did it big with my brother Khaled, the whole family. Steve Stout talking legendary hip hop. Talk. Yo, Billy was good, baby. And so, happy to be here. I see you, bro. I see. All right, fuck it. We're going to get to it. We're going to, brother. And I said, a lot of real shit happening out there. So I had to call one of the realest ones. Yo, Maino.
Happy New Year, crack.
Yo, I can't hear you like that.
You can't hear me?
Up?
How about now?
How about I must be ghetto as fuck. I'm good now.
You good now?
Yo, Maino, what's up
What's
with
up,
you, man?
baby? How you feeling, crack? I'm good, man.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
We didn't know we was gonna get here.
Definitely didn't.
Right? Guy like you, guy like me, the last place we thought we'd be here, 2022. Not only that, I think we the OGs. We the savvy vets right now.
Hey, listen, man. It's a blessing, and the energy is incredible, brother. Like I feel better than I ever felt in my life. Better than I ever felt.
That's crazy, right? Because when we growing up and we look at the OGs, and now I've seen some of them make the transition of like calm down. You
Right.
you warriors.
Right.
Then you become kings and bosses.
Right.
And so do you feel that? I know it's happened to me in my life. Do you feel that? We still know you'll get busy if you have to with it, but over that.
Yeah, we over that because everything that needed to be proved, we already proved already. Everything that needed to be explained, we already explained already. So at this point, what it's about life, it's about prosperity, it's about living, it's about experiencing things that we ain't never experienced before. And the whole thing about being here is for me, it's still a dream. It's still a dream. Every day I wake up and I can't believe it because I know it didn't have to end this way. It didn't have to be this way. And we living in a time where it's a lot going on, bro. It's a lot of rappers dying. A lot of young niggas is going through it all over the country. So it's a lot happening. It's a lot happening. A lot of people hurting. And to still be here, to still be blessed, and to still be an example of working hard and never giving up. Nigga, we ain't never giving up. Ever. Ever.
Let me ask you a question. I find myself sometimes, and I don't want everybody to think Joe's because I am getting old, but like I don't want them to think like I'm really getting old because I find myself, when you think of everything we had to go through in life, how we got here, all the obstacles, shit feel weird these days, like where it almost feels like we didn't go through that. Like, did we really live that? Like, because of the way shit moving now, it's a whole different way that
I know what you're talking about. It feels surreal. Like, damn, did that happen? Was I really involved with that shit? Like, was I really that nigga? Like, was I really in the prison? Was I really going through the pain? And was we really chasing that bag and really gunning after niggas the way we used to? Like, was that like, because it's like we done had two different lives. And it's like the life that we live in now is like, it almost seems so far-fetched, and the old life almost seems so foreign that it's like, wow. So we sit back and say, damn, did that really happen?
You know what's crazy is we got an incredible shit talker. His name is Brooklyn Johnny. You know Brooklyn Johnny?
I know Brooklyn Johnny.
I love Brooklyn Johnny. He talks a lot of shit, right, on a regular basis, stories after stories. So one day he's there just telling me, I think we was at the BET Award. He keep telling me stories. I had to grab him in the shoulder because I talk a lot of shit, but I don't talk the real stories that can get us jammed up, right? I will never do that. I had to grab him by the shoulder and said, Brooklyn, has this and this and this ever happened to you? Did you ever this and that? He looked at me, his eyes got so big. He said, Joe, you lived 4 lives. And I said, yo, Brooklyn, I'm like, I've really been through this shit. Like, like I know some stuff. I know how to talk shit. I've been through some shit. And it's just like, it's amazing. So now, at what point do we say, I know we try in our own way, but at what point do we say we got to use our knowledge and everything we went through, fucked up in situations, and how we made those decisions, because we could have slipped through the cracks to get to where we at now, and feed it to the youth? Because somebody like you, somebody like Jim, somebody like me, I think we have a rare situation where the youth really still listen to us,
right,
and fuck with us.
That's right.
And so how can we change the mentality of the young kids? Because yo, they killing each other all day in New York.
I know. And you know, it's important. I feel like it's a duty of us to at some point really be as realistic with them as possible. And anytime I get into these conversations, or anytime I get a chance to really spread that love and really give them the game, I really tell them, because the truth of the matter is this, bro. The opportunities that they got now, we ain't have. And I say that all the time. So when we was that age, 16, 17, the only thing niggas had for us was crack and a gun. That's what our options was. That was the alternative to not doing nothing, right? Do something that way. So the thing is, I try to tell them all the time that the opportunity you have outweighs the problem. It's getting them to see that it's cool to live. It's cool to get money and live, and it's cool to get older. It's okay, because it's like, if you're not getting older, what you gonna do? Because it's no award. It's no award for just being a young nigga. It's no award.
Yeah, and you know what happens is we be thinking like, you know what I'm saying? So we come up in the culture, right? Let me go there, right? So at one point, people was hearing rumors of, like, let's say R. Kelly, but everybody, because he was a legend, an icon. We turned the cheek. We tried not to believe it. Or we in the Black and Spanish community, we like do some shit where, of course, we ain't snitches, we ain't rats, but we like to turn our eye to certain things because we don't want to feel like we pulling people down, right? And we don't want to. We barely got enough leaders that we don't want to pull down the ones we have, right? And so, but when it comes to these kids, because say we got a new mayor, Eric Adams.
Eric Adams, yeah.
Right? Now, people were scared because people was always, when I had him on this show, all my activists, all the Tamika Mallory's, all the Erica Fords, all of them was like, yo, Joe, he's a cop. He's a cop. He's a cop. He's a cop. Right? And then we know we got this division. I don't give a fuck if it's black, Spanish, white. There's a division between the people and the police.
Indeed.
Right? And so he becomes mayor, second black mayor ever. And it feels like the first thing he did was crack the whip and start locking everybody up for all the guns, all this, right?
Right.
But now, when you look at it, you feel hurt because you say, damn, these are young black brothers, young Spanish brothers going to jail, losing their lives. But when you look at what they're accused of, 9 murders, 8 attempts, you know, they terrorized them projects, like on another level.
Indeed. You know the thing about that? Because I had him on my show too. I had him on Kitchen Talk, and we talked about that same thing. And my perspective is this, that when it comes to that, if you in the street, if you take that oath and you make that who you are, then you gotta accept every bit of the responsibility that comes with death, life, prison, and it is what it is if that's who you are. But my whole question to him was, how do we get into more preventive measures? Get these kids before they get into the situations. Get them before they get into the gangs, to the point where we can't save them no more, because we can't save the ones that already took the oath. When I was in the street, you couldn't save me because I already took the oath. I already felt how I felt. So let's talk about the people or the kids or the ones that haven't been so influenced yet. How do we catch them early with him when we talk?
He definitely let it be known that he ain't playing and he's locking everybody up. Off rip. But you know, when kings take over kingdoms, they always lead with the work stuff first, right? So now, if he feels or people feel like this generation is lost, then the next generation coming, how do we have programs for them? How do we have scholarships?
That's what I'm saying. We got to do
opportunities and jobs for the younger kids to like feel like their life matters and they don't gotta go in you know, in the gang. I was approached one time. This is real talk. I was approached. I never been in a gang in my life.
Me neither.
Ever.
Right? Me neither.
Always getting money, whatever. Everything for me was there. Matter of fact, let's shout out Cash App, our partner. Cash App, you can go join Cash App, put the code Fat Joe, you'll get 15 free dollars. Cash App does Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, everything. All right, let me cover that. Wild Cherry Pepsi, Ciroc. Now, come me and you, we got right to it. We forgot about the people. Now, check this out. It's like they approached me from a gang, and they asked me, they said, listen, we want you and Big Pun to join the gang. I swear to God, the biggest gang guy in the world. We want you to join the gang, this, that. People, the kids look up to you, this, that. So I tell the guy, I says, well, let me ask you a question. Do you have anybody in the gang that owns businesses or something? Right. He says, no. I said, do you have any school teachers in the gang? No. I said, well, who's the #1 gang guy? Well, that's easy. That's such and such. He's doing triple life, 80X. Can't see one hour a day. Boom. Who's the second in command? Very simple. The guy got double life. We'll never see his family again. He's a great guy. He's this. And I said, but why do you want me to join this? Right. Where the grand prize is doing life in jail. Exactly. And so it's fucked up because we never want to point fingers at nobody. But what can we do to encourage these kids to make the turn I made and the turn you made? You went to jail for 10 years and ain't joined a gang. That happened. That's really not easy. I'm sure you was approached by every gang. Of course. But I went to jail. I went to jail at a time when it was more fashionable to be yourself. When it was cool to be a live nigga on your own. You understand? So I just feel like as far as the kids, I feel like, you know, examples got to be made, programs got to be, it has to be targeted towards the younger ones, the babies for real. Whatever the programs are, like whatever the incentive and whatever the mission is, it has to be targeted towards the younger ones. The answer cannot just be lock kids up, because we already understand that they at a place where they know what they're gonna get from the banging. They already understand that the jail, the street shit, the back and forth death is gonna come. But that's not the answer. That is just a small solution for the problem that we already have it. So what is the answer? How do we keep the kids from rolling down in that same path? I don't really have an answer, but I do know that those are the ones that need to be targeted. You know, it's crazy because I feel just like you. I sat in the couch and I knew we was going to talk about this because it's just too real out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I said, what me and Maino going to talk about? We know we're going to talk about hip hop, but we know we're going to talk about real shit that's going on in the streets. Indeed. And I don't like that me and you don't have the answer. Right? We don't have the answer. We don't. I sat there and I said to myself, I don't have the answer. Right? And so I just think like these are things that have been happening in our community forever, but yet we still don't have the answer. Right. Right. And that's some real shit. So I look at it like I don't necessarily have an answer, but I have an idea on where the energy needs to be focused at. And I feel like, you know, having these conversations with the Eric Adams and, you know, with the Tamikas and stuff like that, the energy need to be focused on the babies, on the kids. I don't believe in the super prison
prison idea of just locking everybody up, because we already know what that's going to cause. It's just going to be more Black and Hispanic males in prison, and it's not going to rehabilitate them. It's the same story that happened to us in the 90s. It ain't nothing no different than when Giuliani came and put all the police out here, and it's the same result. Bunch of niggas went to jail. It didn't change the lifestyle. How do we change the mind and the lifestyle of the young kids? How do we get them to understand that it's cool to get older? It's cool to get money. It's cool to love women. And it's other ways than just rap and being in the street.
There's a difference, right? Not us. We were raised Puerto Ricans to embrace, you know, every project you went to got the Puerto Rican flag in the window, Puerto Rican parade. And so let's just say I was brainwashed growing up in New York to be like, Puerto Rico, right? Also, if we look at Black Lives Matter, right? But how can we get the youth to look past the gang colors or the gang and look at that person like, that's my Black brother, that's my Latino brother, that's my Boricua brother? Because they're killing in Puerto Rico like crazy too. Puerto Ricans on Puerto Ricans.
You know, but it's always been that though. Like every race killed on race. You know what I'm saying? Irish mob, Italian mob. You understand? Like every race killed on race. You know, the Japanese Yakuza. Like that's always been. But I just believe that at some point, some of us get to a point where nothing is going to change us. Right, so all the talking, all the programs in the world, nothing's going to change us. I was at a point where I had to learn the hard way. So instead of learning the hard way, if somebody would have caught me when I was 10, then the situation might have been different. We might not be able to save the ones that's 19 and 20 the way we want to. We may be able to catch some of them, but being realistic is, I believe that a better approach is to catch the ones very, very, very early.
You made that clear. I was watching the other night, right? So I don't lie to nobody. I hustled in a major way. You know, I was bullied since I was a kid. Then I had to become tough and be an aggressor and like pretty much a tyrant when I was in the street. And so I never got high, so I always looked at people who got high as weaker, right? And so I hustled before I rapped for a living. And I really never thought about it, never really cared about what the effects of me my hustling was. I gotta get fly, I gotta get the whip, we gotta go to the club, this is that. But never really, you know, my brother dealt with big time drug addiction. I lost cousins to the crack epidemic in Brooklyn. My cousin Jose and then my uncle Manolo, my cousin Renacito, all of them over this crack, over the, you know, the era we grew up in, killed a lot of people. A lot of mothers lived on the window waiting for their kids to come home. Right? So the other night I watched this thing, which is the craziest shit I ever saw in my life, right? It's called Life of Crime on HBO.
I saw that. That's crazy. Man. I didn't finish the end though. I fell asleep on it. I was watching it.
You gotta watch it.
They started from the early 80s, right?
They followed these guys. One Spanish girl, Puerto Rican dude Freddie, the girl Delirious, and then a white boy named Rob. And they were getting high since the 80s.
Yes, they started in 84.
84. And then they showed them her going into prostitution, you know, like it was back in the days. Her kids on the stoop.
That's
while she in the car with a John shooting dope all over. They doing all this shit. And they follow. I don't know if it's a government. Who the fuck thought of this? Was like an experiment.
Or they thought of that back then, right? Because remember, they was following.
They had the cameras
in the courtroom, and in the jail.
In the jail. In the them shooting dope, her selling, you know, the guy's like, are you sure you want to turn the trick now?
Yeah.
Your daughter's way. I'm like, this shit was the wildest.
This is crazy. I've never seen that like that. I didn't finish the end.
Yo, this is the greatest reflection of me going back to my era when I grew up. But I never looked at it from the drug user's perspective. I always looked at it. Who's there? All right, I always looked at it from hustling, we get money. Now I go to the club, yo, how much you did today? How much you did today? How much you did today? But I never looked at it as the effect it was having on these people. And then these guys were going to jail 7, 8 years, coming home clean 3 years, and out of nowhere be like, oh, we can't find John. He got hired.
Right back.
It was the craziest. I did not sleep that night. Hurt me in my heart. Like I sat in my bed for 2 extra hours. You don't really want to see the end, right?
The end was that crazy?
Yo, bro.
Listen, I know I got a piece of understanding what that felt like. See, my father was a crack addict when I was a small boy. So I know what it, and this is the crack 80s when crackheads was outside like zombies, and I would sometimes wake up in the morning and go to school. There would be other crack fiends in my living room, and they'd be like, "Hey, you going to school? Hey, man, get you, man, do the right thing." And so I got a taste of what that felt like a little bit from their perspective because I saw it so close in my household. You know what I mean? And how it affected me. So when I was watching that, and it was in the house, it brought me right back.
First time in my life it put me there.
Yeah, it put me right there.
You felt like you was there. You remember you as a kid.
Thing. It was the real thing. I couldn't believe that they did that. Like they had the wherewithal to film that back then, all the way up. See, I got up to maybe like 96. It went further than that.
Oh no, it went to 2009.
That's crazy. See, I gotta watch.
And they kept showing it's the same shit. They kept showing. She kept going back to the same place she used to sell and all that. And it was just new younger kids selling crack, doing the same thing, selling like the shit don't change.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle, and that's what it shows you. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And listen, I'm not the most super positive brother out here, man. I'm not the political guy, but I'm realistic. I'm realistic with my approach to things. And the truth of the matter is, it's a cycle, right? And I was telling one of my brothers the other day, my brother Cino, I was like, yo, we survive errors, bro. We survive errors. I was like, yo, it's dudes out here right now that's popular, that's getting money. They ain't exist years ago. It was another set of people out here doing the same thing. Like, to be able to look back at that, it's like, wow, we survived errors in different sets.
Oh, no. We survived errors, and we had to adjust. We looking at each other on fucking. Think about 1984. We over here doing an interview on our phones.
Yeah.
Like this shit is great. This is what I be trying to tell you. Like, I be like, can we really live that shit? Because the world's just, and then everything now is for clout. Like, it's like people do the craziest shit.
Brother.
Clout.
That clout shit is like that's a disease, I think. That's like it has to be something like it's not even money. It's the attention. It's the idea of, I don't know, do you think you famous or do you think you respected? I've never seen nothing else like that. And it's the fact that we have to really kind of like adapt and adjust to shit that we never would really ever fathom. Like, you mean you niggas is supposed to be street niggas and you up here talking on the internet about street shit?
You know, I got in one place I messed up at, because I'm not gonna lie to you, right? When I grew up and we was in the streets, you was like a sucker taking pictures. Like, they be like, nah, no pics. I ain't doing no pics. And I grew up with the illest dudes. If I start dropping names, these guys are beyond legends. And we always said, nah, no pics. No pics. If I'd have took pics from back in them days and them whips I was in, I'd be looking like Rich Porter and these dudes right here, right? You flip the kid like, man, like, and I'll be looking now, I'll be like, damn, why did I go for that no pic shit? Because now, them pics would have been valuable in this day.
Yeah, right.
Like I tell people all the time, I used to be with Biggie every day. Never took pictures with Biggie because it was like some sucker shit to be like, yo, my brother, take a pic. Like we wasn't doing that.
You should, right. And now there's like a online market for that, right? So it's like,
now
if you was from a certain era and you was outside and you had the Jews on and the cars, like it's pictures. Yo, look, it's pictures that I wish I could find that showed certain shit.
I was pushing white convertible McLaren. 500 Benz when 190 was good to drive. Like if I took 190 with the wide body kit right now,
190E.
King.
Wow.
Now these guys, let me tell you something, but it's crazy because also the same thing that's getting these people to clout,
right,
is the same thing that's getting them locked up. And so the math is, right, this is the easiest math I ever seen. If you never had a job in your life and you're on Instagram putting money to your ear like this, or you in the club throwing 50,000, you're gonna go down. Somebody's there watching you.
Right.
And
at some point,
you tell a guy, because when you hustle, you know, when I was in the street, it was so premature, the intelligence, you know what I'm saying, to where we used to go on the corner and everybody be bragging about how much money they made yesterday, how much money they're gonna make today. But now you can't do that or you're going to jail.
But the thing is, nowadays, it's not enough to get money and just be on the low. You got to show it. That's the thing. People want to show it. It's not enough to just to get money and just live and have your crib and have your life. You have to show it, because that's the world we live in. You got to show everything, because people feel like if you're not showing it, it's not happening. And I don't think people, I think we at a place, I feel like we not comfortable with that no more. We got to show shit. You understand? And I understand why we do it as entertainers and rappers, because we got to attract. That's the difference. But when you're in the street, I don't get why you need to show anything.
Years, she don't understand when I post certain shit. She be like, yo,
you have to though. There's a difference.
I be like, I got to. This is the new
this
business.
Is the difference.
This is what I got to do. But I'm a rapper. I make my money legit.
This is different, right? That's my point. So my point is, you have, as an entertainer, as a rapper, as a person that's a part of the industry, you have to show things to attract other things, right? But I can never understand if you're 100% on the ground, what you need to show. You shouldn't have to show nothing. You still on the ground.
If you show it, you're going down. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's sometimes almost inevitable, right? Because it's like 1 + 1 is 2, and most times that's the way things end in our culture.
Shout out to Cash App, our partner. If you want to go to Cash App after this, you use the code Fat Joe, you get 15 free dollars. Wild Cherry Pepsi, Ciroc. You know I stay focused on that.
You got the sponsors.
Raymond, Afion, Camilo's on it. Everybody in the world's on this shit. And nobody's gonna talk that shit like me and you. Jada recently said, being healthy is gangster.
That is. Being smart is gangster. We done with the ignorant shit, man. We done with it, man. We done with the, like, not taking care of ourselves and dying at 29. Like, how's that cool? Like I told you this before, I never cared about living until I have an opportunity to live. So I had the opportunity that music afforded me to get out of the hood, get out of the mind state, take me to different places, to different countries, and I got to taste different foods, and I got to taste different women, and I got to see different things. I was like, man, like, this is cool. Dying in the hood, who want that?
Yeah. And you know what somebody said, man? I seen it on Instagram, but he was so fucking right. I don't know who it is, and I like giving credit, but he said, I think it was Meek Mill, he said, if you lower yourself and deal with the same type of street shit, and you will lose your sense of value, of your worth. Like, you know, Meek Mill over here flying in private planes and helicopters every day. To keep it real, he might hang out on a Philly corner one time. And then, but if you do it too much, you realize you don't even realize your worth.
Your value. And that's
your
the
value.
problem. Your value. You start to play with your value. And in the business that we come from, in the business that we in right now, and we blessed to be here and to still be here, our value is everything, because that's how people do business with us. You on here talking about Cash App and Pepsi and all that. That's because you didn't build value around your brand, and also the big show. You feel what I'm saying? So we gotta separate what's real and what's fake, and what makes sense and what doesn't.
Yeah. What do you Jimmy once said it. The rappers are the most dangerous job in the world is being a rapper. You see all these guys catching Fed cases. They're not catching bullshit cases. Fed cases.
Yeah.
You see people getting killed every day, every other rapper from everywhere. I don't even know half these guys that's getting killed all over. And it's like, is it the world's most dangerous job?
You know the thing about that, and we talk about that. Shout out to Jimmy. We talk about that, man. Lobby boys. It's like when you walk in the room and you're the most popular person in the room, and more people know you than you know them, you already at a disadvantage. Already, right? So even if you just a popular nigga in the hood and everybody know you, you already at a disadvantage because more people know you than you know them. So you magnify that by being an artist, and then you moving around. You're moving around in different cities. You're moving around in different climates and environments, and the opportunity for danger is always around. So it is a dangerous place, because I feel like being a rapper then became so trivial that nobody even care about knocking a nigga off. Like, it's not even a thing. Rappers wasn't dying when I was growing up this way. So I feel like it's become so trivial. It's become such a not important job almost to certain people that it's like, I don't give a fuck if you're a rapper. I might do it even more. You understand? So it's dangerous, and we gotta feel like we gotta learn how to, and we had to adapt to that, moving better, because the thing about,
so you got a sucker to have security.
A sucker to have, are you a what? A sucker to have security?
You're not a sucker, because you know when we grew up, nobody had security. Everybody had their goons with them. They this. Are you not a, like, if
that
somebody walks
cool.
around?
That sound cool. Yeah, my niggas hold me down and all that. That sounds cool. That sounds cool for the niggas in the street.
But so it's not just like being healthy is gangster.
Right.
Keeping it real is having security and getting home to your family.
Of course, because some of these niggas want to keep it real till they go wrong. How real I need to keep it, to the point where I got 100 years and the only thing niggas could say about me was, damn, that was a real nigga. How real I need to keep it till I'm dead, and the only thing niggas could say about me was, damn, that was a real nigga. How real I need to keep it. I already kept it as real as I could. I did everything I should have done. So the object now is for me to stay alive and feed my family. Period. Point blank. And if the system calls for me to have security, to make sure that everything is because sometimes I think people get it wrong when you say security, because the security is not just to protect me, but also just to de-escalate situations. To protect me, because I got a temper.
Protect you.
I got a temper. I'm a hands-on kind of guy. You understand? So it's like I need somebody there to de-escalate things, because things could go the wrong way. And at the end of the day, what's a great day? A great day is when we have all the fun in the world, we get in our bag, and then we get home safe. Nobody waking up in the hospital, nobody in a motherfucking precinct, and nobody in a motherfucking morgue. That's a great day.
And you know what's crazy is, see, so the good thing is God let you get old. The sad thing about getting old is you've seen a lot of shit.
Right.
And I've seen the vice versa, where somebody, like right now, there's a rapper, and I'm gonna have to call you about this. There's a rapper that got a big court case going on. He ran out of money. So now he goes and he sends somebody to come to Joe Crack to be like, yo, can you get a couple of the rappers to chip in? For people don't know that. But he's lucky that Joe Crack's really a real one. That'll really turn around and ask a Maino or Jada Kids, Jim, me, everybody. Just throw a couple of dollars so he can represent himself and get the best deal he can get. But that don't really happen.
But
you know,
and that's unfortunate.
And when you go and you say, you know, my brother's on here, he went to court with, he was fighting a murder case, he show up. None of his friends came to court. You know, and so that, you know, we all know about that. When somebody go to jail, they come on 5 years later, it's been going on before Christ. Yo, what's up, man? You ain't write me a letter. Nah, I missed you. I ain't want to see you like that. I didn't, you know, and so a lot of times we out here convincing ourselves that we got a bunch of true love, but the truth is you got to love yourself and your family
first and foremost,
enough to stay out of them positions.
First and foremost. But you know what? It's like what you just said. The wisdom come with getting old a little bit, getting older. Not old, because nobody's old here, right?
Yeah.
The wisdom comes in getting a little bit more mature, to having been through those wars, been through that turmoil, and then being able to look back and say, damn, I made it, right? A lot of times when you're that young, you don't really have that way of looking at life, because you haven't experienced everything yet. You understand? So it's different for them, you know. But the fact that you can reflect on your life and where you've been and still be here it makes it worthwhile.
Oh no, you better believe it. And I've been ducking and diving. You know what I'm saying? I finally caught the corona 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I caught it too.
You caught it too?
Yeah, I caught it too.
You know, I felt like a virgin. You know how a girl, she don't give it up, and then finally, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was like the last American COVID virgin. Motherfucker caught me. Bang! Hold up, Omarion.
Omarion don't got no, listen, Omarion is on everybody. He not playing.
And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to Remy today. She was like, yo, I'm ducking this. I said, damn, you still the last American, like you.
It ain't, unless you just never come out. He's an equal opportunity fucking disease. Everybody get it.
Yo, Omarion ain't play with people, right?
At all.
It's like
at all. It didn't really hit me that bad though. I was like, I had like the flu symptoms for like 2 days, but I was straight. Other than that,
I had it longer for that, and you know I be really believing this shit. So I'm vaccinated up, boosted up, all types. Yeah? So yeah, and so it made me mentally. It made me mentally feel like I was good. So you know I had like the worst flu you could have. I ain't have no life threatening, no shit. But you know this Omarion shit. It's a mental thing. You know, the fucking COVID is a mental thing. So it start playing games with you, making you think you can't breathe. You know, these guys, a lot of these guys died over like anxiety. Like I almost think like the minute you catch COVID, take a fucking Valium or something, one of them Ambiens, and calm yourself down.
Because as soon as you think you got it, you go into panic
and
mode.
You alone. This ain't no beef where somebody can calm you down or your girl's rubbing your back. You alone. If you being responsible, you alone. And then that shit start to creep in on you. Different little things that, you know, the back of your ear start bip, 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 bip. It start shit, right? Shit start.
You start panicking.
Feeling all type of shit. Listen.
You start to feeling shit, and shit possibly just in your mind.
In your mind. And so what happened to me, the one thing that happened to me is, you know, I never smoked in my life. Not a cigarette, not nothing.
Me neither. Never smoked cigarette. No blunt, nothing.
I was like, yo, my lungs gotta be good. But my breath was playing with me. So I had to get my wife to go out there to get me one of them things that measure your oxygen to see if you straight.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, I got that. Yeah.
So now when I did that, I knew my shit was A1. My shit was at like 90. I was like, now you bugging.
It was your mind.
Like,
you started to think you wasn't breathing good.
Listen, B, you bugging. Like, stop being pussy right now. You good. Like, you got to calm down with this shit. Like, yo.
You started to think You started to think that you couldn't breathe.
Yes.
Because that's what
yes,
you
sitting at the end of the
what you
bed.
used to hearing.
Yeah, I'm sitting at the end of the bed. Like I start thinking I'm bugging out and shit. I'm sitting there. Then when they get me the machine say, yo, bro, you like,
you good.
Your fucking air's on 1,000, B. You the best in the game. But that's what the shit do, that isolation, because you alone. And then I prayed a lot more for like people who were sicker than me, because God was good to me, and I caught the Omarion, but it was like a flu to me. Like,
did you catch it? Did you catch it after you got the vaccine?
Yeah, but the vaccine don't say you can't catch it.
Right, I know that.
It say you won't die.
Right, it says that it'll lower the symptoms, like it'll break it down. It shouldn't be that bad.
And so what I don't want to do is die, right? So I take the vaccine like, fuck that. Like, get me out of the die section.
Get me out of the die section.
Yeah. I can fuck with this flu as much as
I can have the flu, but just get me out the die section.
Get me out of there. Because imagine how your mind think if you ain't vaccinated and all that, you get hit with it.
Right.
You're like, oh shit. Like, yo, what's going on? Nah, I was on I'm gonna live. I just gotta fight through this little moment, whatever they throw at. You know
That's it. It's a moment. You're gonna get through it.
Yeah, it's a moment in time. Tell me about these lobby boys.
Lobby boys.
All right, let me know what's up with the lobby boys.
Yeah, crack. This is it. The biggest, the serious, the greatest, the most unstoppable, everything.
Woo!
Well, listen, now this is it's something that me and Jim Jones have been talking about for years. We always talked about actually coming together and doing a joint project. And then you know how it is. Sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world to get two artists on the same page. You know how that is.
Same timing, same page.
Right.
So it's you and Jim? I thought it was you, Jim, and Dave.
Not so. No, I mean we all lobby boys, and I'm gonna tell you, Jim and Fabulous and East and everybody. What happened? What happened is this: that we started doing a lobby boy project. It's me and Jim. We got Fabulous on there. We got Davies on there. Fabio on there. There's a lot of dope features on there. And then we just started vibing. I think the project is about us coming from where we come from. It's like similar to what we talking about. Coming from the lobbies, coming from that despair, coming from those dreams, coming from the places where them dreams get deferred to where we at now, right? And what started to happen is that we just all started to connect. Fab was coming through, East was coming through, and we all just started to hang out and started to connect. And then we just started something else that we called the Fit Lit Club, where we started working out together. You understand what I'm saying? And we're showing people that, for one, unity, right? Unity amongst rappers in a city where it was said that we can only be one king, right? And it's you see rappers together in the studio all the time. You see them together in parties all the time, but you never really see them do things like that together. So it's just something that we created just to inspire the people. We want to get to a place where we doing classes, something similar to like Zumba. Where we bringing people in. It's a dope idea, and we just connecting in more than ways than just music. But as far as the Lobby Boys project though, it's coming, man. The first single we drop in February 4th. It's called Lobby Boys Anthem. Video's done. Shout out to Will Santana. Shout out to 1 RPM. The deal is done, and I'm telling you, there's nothing but smoke on there. I guarantee it.
Y'all did it with Ghazi?
No, we did it. We did it with 1 RPM.
Who's 1 RPM?
1 RPM. They like an empire. It's like an empire.
They got the bag, though. They got the bag. They gave y'all the bag up front. I know y'all motherfuckers, man. I know y'all went to 1 RPM. 1 RPM got the bag, bro. Yeah,
Buster called me the other day and said, "Yo, who's that?" Yeah.
I know how that shit. We all hustlers, man. We all
hustlers,
trying to figure it out.
Of course, we put 2 or more hustlers in the room. We gonna do what we do. We gonna figure it out, and that's what it is. But I feel good because the music is so powerful, and I feel like this is the greatest music I've been making. You know, I always play around, not even play around, but I always be, telling Jim, you reach back for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you was moving and us doing this project now, it's gonna be crazy because when this project come out, people gonna be looking at me differently, just on an artistic rap level, just on some rap shit. They're gonna look at me different. They're gonna say my name different.
That's
I
right.
guarantee you that, crack. I stand behind that.
And that's what it's about. It's about legacy. It's about growing. It's about taking it another level. And I understand. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
What you explain musically, and that's how I feel about it. I feel like, we on this earth once.
That's right.
We lucky enough to do what we dreamed about, what God, blessed us. And so how do we leave our mark in the world? How will they remember our name? So I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. So February 4th, Lobby Boys, it comes out.
That's
the first.
We dropping the first single on the 4th.
You dropping the first single on the 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's major. Tell them about the show you got, because you got the kitchen. I gotta be invited in the kitchen.
Come on, man. You gotta come up, man. We need you on the kitchen song, bro. We need to come on. Crack right here, man. Right here on the set. Right here.
Oh, you right at the set.
We
Yeah,
right on the set. Right here. Come on.
Yo, man, I'm getting screwed up, man. Let me tell you something. Today, my wife was like, yo, you need a new makeover. Your shit look ghetto. Your shit making a lot of money doing it. Fuck that. You fat. You care about your look and everything else. You might as well be fly on your shit. I'm like, yo, man, they just really want me to. Because you know what happened? Maino was like, guys like you and me, right? When we get together, we talk real shit, but there ain't no camera.
When there ain't no camera, right.
And people can't even learn. And so for many years, when I sat in the studio, I said, damn, man, I wish Russell Simmons, I wish one of those guys would have stopped me and told me, yo, Joe, walking around with 50 guys and getting you no money is going to get you jammed up or something like that. So when I started this show, I said, I'm going to be transparent. I ain't going to lie. Because, as a rapper, you always try to look like you drink champagne for breakfast. You on a yacht. You this. So I tell them about my L's.
That's
I
right.
tell them how I won.
That's right.
I tell them about my journey in life so that everybody can take a little something they want.
That's a fact.
And just elevate whatever they doing. Somebody needs to hear this shit
That's
we
right.
talking about.
That's a fact.
But before us, it wasn't cool to talk like this on the interview. It wasn't cool to talk on IG like this. And so, that's pretty much that's the message behind what I do.
No, it's important though. It's important to give them the most realistic, version of the journey. Not every part of the story where I'm the hero and I'm the victor. Like I've been took some L's and I didn't been in situations where it wasn't as I didn't feel as good about myself. So that's important that when we have these platforms that we give them the real, because that's all they really want. And the more people want to relate to it, they're gonna respect it and they're gonna love you more for it because they're gonna understand that none of us is perfect. We don't have all the answers. We talked about that earlier. We don't have all the answers. We living and learning still every single day.
Or we could say shout out to English Soul. My man, he collects sneakers, man. He got good sneakers out there. But what we do is, we ain't got all the answers, but all we can do is try to motivate them to go in the right way. And let them know that even if you're young right now, two things happen. When you kill somebody, their family suffers for life. And then you kill somebody, now your family suffers because you go to jail for 20 years, if you lucky.
It's no winners.
There's no winners. And so the youth, they feel, because, I was crazy too, but they feel like, hey, if I catch a body, I'm 18, I'm 17, I'll be out when I'm 30. But you don't really have to do that. Like, you really don't have to catch a body and go to jail. There's other ways.
No.
If we put our mind as much as let me tell you about hustling, right? First of all, you got to find a connect.
That's right.
Right? Then you got to cook it or whatever. Then you got to market and promote it. So if it's Purple Top,
that's right.
Or it's Dancing Angel,
that's right.
You got to promote this motherfucker like it's Def Jam Records. Right? Now, you hiding from the cops, NYPD or Chicago PD or whatever. And then you really got to stay under the radar so that the big boys don't get you. The facts. Right? You doing all this shit. Right? Then you got the haters, the mandeos, the stick-up kids, the guys that's mad at you. You know, you seen Paid in Full. You saw they was mad at AZ and they was mad at Ritz for getting that money. It's the same thing in every hood. The minute you get up and you buy North Faces and Gucci and this guy in the next apartment, bum-ass, ugly dude. They always be ugly, too. Right? Like, I mean, yo, be honest with me. Yo, Maino, it be the ugly. Let's keep it real. Like, it be the ugly dudes. Like, they ugly.
They always ugly ones.
Smug, what you call them, pie face, and do pie face dudes, right? And so they mad at you because you get money. Right. Now, if you think of all of that and manage to be successful, how come you can't create your own company or go to work or do something? If you thought in a legit level.
You can, though, and that's the thing. It's about application, though, and it's about having a little bit of knowledge, though, to understand that you can take some of those same elements and do the same thing somewhere else. If you could do that, then doing what we're doing should be easy. You understand? Because it's like going through all that and dodging those traps, because it's way more traps. And the traps are life. You die, it's over. You go to prison, it's over. So most times, right? So you can do that if you was had the ability to apply yourself, or you was put on to certain situations, somebody could open your eyes, or if you was just smart enough to just know when to just say, you know what, I'm gonna pivot, I'm gonna try something different. The most scariest thing I ever did in my life was try to become a rapper. It was the scariest thing I ever tried to do, like, because it was like everything else was easy. Going back to the street was easy for me because it's something that I did all my life. It's something that, you know, this is all I know. So the hardest thing and the most scariest thing is try to do something different. And that's the thing. We got to step out of our comfort zone. We got to try things that make us scared. Our dreams got to be so big that they scare us. But those are the things that's going to get us out the places that we in.
And so the thing is, this is for the excuse babies. This is for the people who make excuses and, yo, they trying to keep the black man down. They keep the Puerto Rican man down. Yo, we don't have no opportunity. Yo, we this and that. You know, these same guys been making excuses their whole life, right? I know guys that's in jail. My best friend's in jail for life. If he came out here, and I'm not even saying that illegally he could do it real fast, but legally, he'd be rich.
Right.
Give him a year, he'd be rich because he knows how to get to the money. He would make 10 mechanic shops. I don't care what the fuck he would do. 10 juice bars, he would get to the money. You got people who are hustlers, entrepreneurs that know how to get to the money. And then you got bums, the guys that got to be a part of something to eat. They don't know how to go out there and
make something
themselves. They make excuses. So when I look at somebody like Jay-Z come from the project, single parent moms. He's a billionaire, bro.
Right.
He about to be the first black guy to open a casino in New York, right? These are like, this is a guy in the projects. He was in 5E, Pissy Elevator.
Same as everybody else.
Shooting like 50 Cent. He's from the hood. He got about 26 TV shows. These are just the guys we know. You know, me being Fat Joe, I'm able to meet more black and brown and Asian people who come up to me and be like, yo, Joe, I started with nothing. Now I have a shampoo company that's $1 million.
That's right.
Yo, Joe, I do this and this and that. And so it's like, you gotta keep the excuses from blocking your blessings. Yeah, it might be harder for you.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe, but I always say if you looking for an excuse, you always gonna find one. Excuse is always there. It's always gonna be there. You can always find an excuse. That's one thing that it's never. If you're looking for those things, if you into that, it's always gonna be one for sale.
Yeah,
always.
it's so many ways. It's so many ways to talk yourself out of success.
Yeah, easy. That's more easy than anything. But that comes from fear. Fear of trying, fear of failing, fear of not being able to do something that you dream of doing because you're scared to take that step. Not knowing that failure is a part of success. Everybody that has succeeded at something failed a bunch of times at something.
What's the funnest thing about you becoming a successful rapper? What's the funnest thing?
The funnest thing. Oh man, the funnest thing. I don't know. Maybe watching my son start to rap. That's so like it's like I having an out of body experience seeing that. You know what I mean? Me coming home from jail, he was 3 months old, to now him talking about he rapping and him shooting his own videos and him actually applying himself to music. That has to be the just off the top of my head, yeah, it has to be that.
All right, my brother. Good looking, Maino, man. Thank you for stopping by the big show. You know, it's the first show of the new year.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm honored to have you.
I'm honored, brother.
Don't you?
On the big show. I'm honored. I'm honored.
Yo, I need to be on your show. I love you, brother.
Come on, let's do it. Let's set it up. Let's set it up.
All right, stay up, my brother.
My brother. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the one and only Maino, and you don't know who I know. We continue on the right path, on the right foot. Nothing can stop us. We all the way up. And so you got to understand that record, Nothing Can Stop Us, We All the Way Up, came at a time where I was at my lowest. They took all my money. I just came out of jail. Could you imagine making a record so inspirational, so motivational, like nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up, when you really not all the way up? Just to let you understand, speak it into existence and get off your ass and do it, man. Do it. 2022, there's no more to play with. This is your year. This is your time. And if you go and try something and it don't work, jump off and do something else and keep going. And then do something else and then keep going. And then do something else till something works. I tell you all the time, shout out to Is Biscuit, the world's biggest blogger. You gotta stay in the game. You never know. And so you be thinking, yo, this is gonna get me paid. Maybe you're doing such a good job and that doesn't succeed, and somebody sees how much hard work you're putting in, and they plug you in with something else and you get rich. You know how many people wanted to rap and turn around and became producers or TV show producers or whatever? So you gotta stay focused on your dream. Don't let nobody talk you out of your shit. I tell you, let your darkest moments bring your most clarity. If you're going through something, relationship, health, law enforcement shit, whatever you're going through in life, and your so-called loved ones, your friends, your family, they're not there for you. They're not really there for you. They're not your people. If they don't come for you when you need them, you got to get rid of them and move on. It's just a fact. And God, in good times, bad times, and whatever. If I got shot now, if I caught a heart attack now and took my last breaths, my last little 5, it would be, God, forgive me, please, God, take me with you. And this is how you become unstoppable. Remember, a tough guy will always find another tough guy. A killer will find a bigger killer. God stops everything. It's the trump card. It's the winning card.